Hey friends, it's Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is Tuesday, June 16th, and I'm coming after the France versus Senegal match. I am wearing a green headband because I was supporting Senegal, so I will be changing it to a red one because I'm supporting Norway in the next match. I thought that would be fun to do for today since I'm wearing a black dress, and that would, I don't know, add up some fun. I don't know, you guys. But anyways, okay, so I have to go quickly because the match is going to start in about 10 minutes because I was chatting away during halftime instead of, doing things. So, I had predicted a 2-2 scoreline. 4 goals were scored, so some credit, I don't know. It ended 3-1 to France, which I was chatting with Amy from Gable Stitches, I believe, and she predicted a 3-1 for France. And so now I need Amy to not predict any more scores of teams I don't want to win. I need her to predict scores that win for my teams. Anyways, I've yet to predict a correct score line, and I've only gotten 5 correct predictions. Anyways, so France did not start off well, okay? Their first half was bad. Senegal looked the better team. Maybe a little biased, but I don't think that that's really biased to say. It wasn't until the 66th minute that Kylian Mbappe scored for France. In the 82nd minute, Barcola, who was a substitute, scored. That might have been, it was within his first 5 touches of the ball. So that's really awesome for him. In the 5th minute of added extra time, Mbaye scored for Senegal. Unfortunately, 1 minute later, Kylian Mbappe scored an absolute stunner to bring France up to 3-1. So that sucked, especially because goal differential is going to be important. And so losing by 1 as opposed to losing by 2 sucks for Senegal, but hopefully they will be able to beat Iraq and maybe get some result out of Norway, a draw or anything. I don't know. It's going to be tougher now for Senegal, which is really unfortunate. I do think they can be the 3rd place team in the group, but if we're talking about points, I am worried about them getting more than 3 points. So, I don't know. I'm going to see how this Norway versus Iraq match goes, and we'll see what happens. I did catch up on my star blanket for predictions. Oops, I need to put you away before you dry out. So I added 3 more rounds. So there's a total of 5 rounds on the blanket because I have correctly predicted 5 matches. And I am really liking how this looks so far. It was so fun to do. So I did that last night before going to bed. This morning, during the first half of the game, I was just taking care of some chores. I was in the kitchen doing some stuff. I made more of my protein jello. I don't know what else I was doing. Honestly, I let the dogs out. I watered my plants. But so I didn't craft at all during the first half. During the second half, I caught up with yesterday's goals on my sock. So this is now all the way up through yesterday's game. There was only 8 goals scored, so I added 8 rounds. I have counted on the back the number of rounds, and we're at 30, and I tried it on, and I'm thinking I'm probably only going to do 40 rounds on the sock. That came up to a good height on my leg. So I'll try it on again after I get to 40. That might happen today, but then we'll do the heel. So, yeah, I'll move this, and then I might try to keep up with the goals as they're scored today, but only show you guys at the end. So I have 4 rounds to add. they're coming out for national anthems. So, let's go with Senegal. This is the yarn that I assigned to them. So they will get 1 black worryworm. And I have the, ooh, that came real close to the fan. The project I assigned to them, which is so hard to show, is the Serengeti mandala from Chatelaine. And this is for my mom and dad. So my mom really wants me to work on it. She is upset Senegal only scored 1 goal, so only gets 25 stitches. For France, their nickname is Le Bleu, Le Blau, Blue, however they say blue. And so I gave them a blue yarn, and this is a really pretty one. I think it's Blue Mint, I think is the name. And this is one of the other colors that I bought recently, like a month or 2 ago. So I got 3 or 4 colors that I'd never had before, and this was one of them. And the project that I assigned to them is Afternoon in Paris, because Paris is in France. So obviously we're going with that. This is Rome. Ignore that. I have them in the same bag. I haven't started that one, but I am planning on starting it, I think on the same fabric is my plan. Yeah, on the bottom half of this fabric. So I have them in the same bag. So once I finish Paris, I'll start the Rome one down there. But anyways, here is where I am at on Afternoon in Paris. And I am a little concerned I may actually finish this one if they do really well, especially in the later stages. I mean, I know right now it's only 75 stitches, but if you look at the pattern, the picture, I am working on this building, and then there's just this left to do, which is not a ton. So we'll see. I will have to figure out what to assign them if I do run out of, like, if I do complete it. Obviously, I'm not going to give them Afternoon in Rome because that would just be crazy. But so that will get 75 stitches. So that's all. I will chat with you guys more later. I am going to tune in now for the national anthems. And yeah, I'll come back later with an update. Bye. Sorry, as a quick reminder, I predicted a 4-1 Norway victory versus Iraq. That was my prediction for this match that I'm now going to go watch. So just thought I'd say what I had said. Okay, bye. Hey friends, I am back after our Norway versus Iraq match. I worked on 2 projects during that match. The first was Balthazar, where I did 26 stitches over here in the yellow. And then I did, well, I'm not positive how many back stitches because I let the program count, and I don't think it counted accurately because I did long strands instead of like stopping in every square. So the program says I did 52.5 stitches, and it counts like, it does break it down for back stitching, but again, where each back stitch only counts as half. So I did half of a half. So I counted it as 26, but I finished up the main part of this door, like everything in the center. I also put like that one little line here, then some over here. I'm at the point in this project where the back stitch remaining is just with 1 strand. So the back stitch in this project, there are 3 strands of black. There are 2 strands of black. I've done both of those, and now I'm down to the 1 strands of black. And so I was working on the door And instead of splitting that up, I just honestly did the long strands. I thought it would just look like it flowed better. So, in the end, I'll probably actually have to frame this one and put it behind glass or something. But I'm happy with how that looks. Okay, so Iraq versus Norway is actually the way it goes. First game that I've actually predicted completely correctly. It ended 4-1 for Norway. Now, I didn't set up anything for myself for if I correctly predicted a scoreline. And I don't know. I think I deserve some kind of reward or something. So, if you guys think so, and if you have any ideas, because I don't have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below, and we will try to think of something, because I think all the way correctly predicting a scoreline is pretty good, actually. Hang on, sorry, I'm obviously not fully engaged here. What happened to my stuff for Balthazar? Is it over there? Balthazar. Uh-oh. Okay, I'll look for it in a minute. Okay, so Erling Haaland scored the first 2 goals for Norway. So in minute 29, he scored the first goal. Then in minute 39, Hussein actually scored for Iraq. Apparently he's the player that like scored their winning goal that got them into the World Cup in the first place. And apparently they're the team that had the longest trek to get to the World Cup. I think they had to play 27 matches to qualify, which is actually insane. So, wow. They were also the very last country to qualify for the World Cup. So, wow. Good job, Iraq. So then in minute 43, Haaland scored again. That guy scares me, okay? They call him the Big Viking, and he's just scary. Imagine living back in the time of the Vikings and seeing that guy coming towards you with, like, an axe or something deadly. No thanks. Glad I live in these times. Okay. So we went into the halftime with a scoreline of 2-1 for Norway, and came back. I was worried they weren't going to score again. Iraq was actually playing really well, despite what the scoreline shows. And then in minute 76, Ostegard, who I believe was a substitute as well, scored the 3rd goal for Norway, and that just kind of like breathing room. And then in the 6th minute of added extra time, unfortunately, Iraq's goal scorer scored again on the opposite side. So that one, it feels a little harsh because there were multiple Norwegian players around the area that it was kind of all like bouncing off of and around. And so it does really suck that that goes down as an own goal. But Norway take the win. So let's talk about the projects. I actually assigned Iraq one of my favorite projects, so I'm glad I get to give it 25 stitches. And I don't know why I assigned it this one. I think I was just not happy with the project that I had assigned to Iraq or something like that, and I wanted to fit this project in. Naturally, I don't have a cover picture, but it is Holiday Quaker from, Lila Studio. And I have done a grand total of 4 stitches. So we are doing so good. At the end of this, we'll have 29. So there we go. I think what it was is that Haiti is the only country that starts with an H. and I'd already assigned them the house calendar Sal. And so I was the next letter close by H, and that's how it happened. Their yarn color, is another new one to me. I haven't even put it in a cake. This is feathered gray, and it's just a nice soft gray. So I must have bought like 5 new colors, I guess. I don't know. And then I put several in my save for later cart because they're also ones I don't have. But they came in 3 packs, so I didn't want to buy too many because storage space is an issue. Okay, my husband texted. I'll respond to him in a minute. Okay, so Norway. I assigned them this. Okay, yeah, I know that these are 2 different colors, okay, but they're close to the same color. And that's because this one's going to end real soon, possibly for worry worms. I'm not positive. So I needed another color that was in the same family, so I just put them both in there. Okay, I don't have to justify myself to you guys. The project I assigned to them is one that I have been putting off working on for a while, and that's mainly because I'm tired of the part that I'm on, and I want to move on to other parts, but I know I need to finish it. Anyways, I love how it looks, okay? That's not my problem. It's Welcome to the North Pole from Primrose Stitches. Oh, I think it's just so beautiful. I'm up here working in this section. Well, okay. There's a lot of stuff going on. I think I have parked threads and everything. I do, because I need to move the hoop. Let's see if I'm far enough along that I can actually move the hoop and then maybe just work off of the parked stitches. Oh, I think I need to go back and cross this line because that's only half. Anyways, here we go. Welcome to the North Pole. And again, it looks beautiful, and I really do love how it looks. It's just not always the funnest to work on. So I'm ready to get into more than just words. I want to get into, like, well, it'll be a long time, but Mr. and Mrs. Claus all the way down at the bottom, or the snowman, or, you know, the train, the hot cocoa, the fun things. I did move it into a new project bag this week, and this is one I got off of Etsy. No, I didn't. I got it off of a Facebook group where the creator sells her bags there. Sorry, I'm just cutting off. The tag has fraying. So I'm just trying to cut off the fraying. Okay. In the end, I may even take off the tag because I'm not a huge fan of tags, especially when they fray. Anyway, it's got cute gnomes on it. Super cute. And then it's see-through vinyl. I need to learn how to make vinyl bags, but also then I need to learn where to get vinyl. Ever since Joanne's went and left us. Okay, so do you fit in here? Maybe? Yes, you do. No. How about that? How about that? I probably knew that. Anyway. Okay, so it is about to be Argentina versus Algeria. The national anthems are about to start, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here and tune in to the match. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Okay, friends, I'm coming to you just before the kickoff of the Austria versus Jordan match, and that is because once again, I was in crunch time trying to finish up the last of my stitches for the Semi-Sane Stitchers Challenge for the World Cup, and I managed to do it with 15 minutes to spare this time. So, you know, a little tiny bit more wiggle room, but it was kind of close, so I thought I should probably not film right away. Anyways, so I had my second correct predicted scoreline. Argentina beat Algeria 3-0. All three goals were scored by Messi, so that's all I really have to say about it. I think part of why I dislike Messi so much is just how much the commentators talk about him. I get it. He's the greatest of all time, blah, 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 blah. Does anyone talk about Neuer like that? Okay, he's the greatest goalkeeper of all time, and no one talks about him as much as they talk about Messi. And, you know, he's just doing his business on the other half, like, you know, in the goal. So, it just drives me insane, you know? I don't like Messi. He hasn't actually done anything that makes me dislike him. I just dislike him, okay? That's just how it is, okay? Okay. So, I'm going to show you what I worked on. Then I'll show you Argentina and Algeria's projects, and then I am going to, there have been so many goals scored today that I have to immediately start jumping into stitching for those goals. Otherwise, I run the risk of not completing it again tomorrow. And there's only been one day when I did not have the goals stitched in time. Now, when we get to that final match day for each group, when there's 2 teams playing simultaneously, I don't think there's any way I can do it, but we'll worry about that then. Okay, so I did 55 stitches on Hobbiton. So I was kind of all over the place. I finished the one dangling thread, and then this one that's currently on the needle was actually over here, but I made it too long, and then the strand frayed and it came apart, so then I just went over here and started stitching from there, so with that same thread. So that's what's going on with that. I did 54 stitches on It's a Marshmallow World, all the white stitches in here, and that was really nice and easy. I did 25 stitches on Squad Ghouls, and that is literally one row, okay? That bottom row was exactly 54 stitches, and that was exactly how much thread I had on my needle, so that worked out fantastic. And then the final one was my my new start on Mystical Forest. I am not sure my exact number. I think it's 28. I believe it's 28. But let me double that up so you can see better. It's just up there. I worked with one strand. Not really much to say. My sister is at this game that's about to start. Austria versus Jordan. I don't know why I keep forgetting Jordan. Anyway, when my dad had his heart problem, you know that I believe I've talked about it, how he had to have 5 bypasses. He almost died twice. Anyway, he was actually in the country of Jordan when he came down with pneumonia, or the whole reason he ended up in the hospital, and then they discovered everything that was wrong with him. So yeah, I have a soft spot for Jordan for sure, but I'm still rooting for Austria because it's got a Bayern Munich player. So yeah. Oh yeah, I see David Alaba here, so he is still playing for Austria. I'd recognize that face anywhere. I wish he had never left us. I wish he had stayed with us forever. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to start with Algeria, which, sorry, excuse me, we won't be able to stitch for, but I'll show you the yarn in the project. So I gave them this brown yarn. No reason. I just was literally one of the only colors left. And I believe I don't believe I've even started this project. So, Algeria. So they I have. Okay. Whew. They almost opened up the score line, but it was taken back for offsides. But anyways, the project is always and right now it is a bunch of half stitches. So that's where I'm at on it. Hopefully when they play again next week, I'll be able to do something. Okay. The players are coming out onto the pitch, so it's a good thing I only have one more thing to show you, which is Argentina's. I actually gave them a yarn I'm really excited to make worms from. Excuse me. I never have, but it looks like so much fun. And that is this one. Like, don't you think some little girls are going to really love worms made out of that? I hope so. I hope so. And, oh, I gave him a project I'm also really excited about. Yay. And that is the ABCs of cross stitch. I almost just held up the pattern for you guys to look at. Okay. So, here is what it will look like. I'll slowly go up as it is so long. And here is where I am at. So I owe this one 75 stitches for Messi's 3 goals. He is now tied with Miroslav Klose for the most goals at FIFA World Cups. I think 16. So here we go. Oh, I love this project. Okay, I'm gonna go now so I can watch the game. I've asked my sister if I can share some of the footage with you guys, some pictures and stuff like that. She didn't really respond yet, so I'm gonna take that as a yes, but if she says no, then you guys won't see anything. So but hopefully she lets me. So yeah, I'll come back at the end of the match and we'll wrap things up. Bye. Hi friends, it's Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner. It is really the wee hours of the morning, like 4 a.m. I've been procrastinating putting off this update, and I honestly don't really know why. I just knew it when I filmed it, then I'd have to edit, and now it's too late to even edit. But anyway, let's just oh, sorry, excuse me, I'm tired. Austria versus Jordan ended. I almost got my 3rd correct scoreline prediction of the day. I predicted 2-1. It ended 3-1 to Austria, with a penalty being scored by Austria 12 minutes into extra added time. There were a couple potentially controversial VAR decisions. I think one that the ref went with the VAR decision. Sorry, excuse me. And one the ref didn't. The first one that he did go with, the commentator and I both really disagreed with that decision, including the goalkeeping, no, the goalkeeping, the ref, the rules expert. Anyways, it was ruled a handball, but like the ball bounced off the player's arm like this, and it wasn't even like that he was making himself bigger or anything like that, which is normally what it was literally like ball to hand, not hand to ball, right? So I really didn't think that that goal should have been disallowed. And that wasn't even the player that scored, okay? That was another player. And then the player that scored. But anyways, that was a really harsh decision. But sorry. Then at the end, the ref was called to look at a call, and a penalty was awarded to Austria, and that's when the player scored. So it ended 3-1. I have the projects here for Austria and for Jordan. So I assigned Austria this very pretty purple. I really like that one. And what project did I give them? Let's see. Any town, tiny town. This is it's gotten a little bent. This is what it will look like. And I have a pretty decent start on it. And my plan is to put on the bottom, I have more tiny town. So that's my plan. And so here's where I'm at. So this will get 75 stitches. And I will probably just fill in this house because that seems the easiest to do and the quickest. And there was a lot of goals scored today, 16 today, and I've only stitched for 1. So I don't actually think I'll be able to finish all the matches today. If I had been productive instead of just watching reels on my phone, maybe. But, you know, you make some decisions and then you have to live with it. Now, Jordan's project and yarn, oops, don't forget to put Austria's in here. Okay, so Jordan has this like wheat colored yarn maybe, or beige. I don't know. Look at it over here. When I hold it further back, it seems to be more accurate than when I put it close. That is way brighter than it is in person. Anyway, and okay, this is the log cabin style from Little House Needleworks. So this is the one that I'm on. And this is where I'm at. Honestly, I don't know why I assigned this project to Jordan. I'm guessing I just wanted to work on it, and so I don't really know that I had J projects, and so that's probably part of what it was trying to come up with things for the J letter. So okay. Let's do a little bit of a wrap up with what's going on here. Okay. So far, and I thought today might change this, but so far, only one Bayern Munich player has scored. Hopefully tomorrow, Harry Kane will get Bayern Munich a few more goals. But that's, honestly, I am surprised. We have 17 players at the World Cup. 17 or 18. I think it's 17. But 1? Not great. Own goals. There have been 5 own goals so far this competition. Apparently there were only a couple in the whole World Cup in 2022. We've had 5 so far, so that is not fantastic. So I need to do 250 stitches on an advent calendar. Sorry. There have been 3 penalty goals, so penalties were awarded, and all 3 have been scored. So that's really actually interesting. None of them have been missed. So that's 150. 43 yellow cards. That's a lot of yellow cards. That's a lot. Let's see. We've had 20 matches, so that's an average of over 2 a game. That's crazy. Today was actually a really low yellow card day. There were only 2 yellow cards given. So we brought that average down. Red cards, still only the 3 from the very first game of the World Cup, which is actually good to see because you hate to see a player miss out on the World Cup because of that. Makes you wonder if that referee was perhaps too harsh. All those reds. Socks. Okay, so there have been 62 goals scored so far in the World Cup. I have not done any from today, so I owe that 16 rounds. I'm thinking probably 10 more on the leg, so then the remaining 6 will be my start of the heel. I am thinking about trying a different kind of heel this time. So I need to make some decisions on the heel because it's time. I might try Kay Jones invented a butterfly heel, so I might try that. I might try the fish lips kiss heel. I bought that pattern a long time ago, but I was a new knitter, and so it was very overwhelming. So now that I'm more confident in knitting, I'm thinking about looking at it again. I also maybe German short rows. I have not done one of those heels either, so maybe I could try that. I don't know. Or an afterthought heel. And I have now made 8 correct match winner predictions and 2 correct score lines. So that's the roundup. My sister did go to this game. So I'm going to try to include some pictures or photos. Nope, that's the same thing. Pictures or videos that she sent from the game. And yeah, she said that it was amazing. She cried. It was a bucket list item. So I'm really excited for her and jealous, obviously. But yeah, that's about it. I need to get a little bit of sleep because I need to be up in 5 hours for this all to start again. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.